In recent months, the discussion surrounding the Noah Pressgrove case has been dominated by speculation, often recycling the same theories without an objective examination of the injuries and evidence. To cut through the noise and challenge assumptions of a sensationalized crime, we sought an unbiased, external expert opinion. We wanted to know, what would a non-biased coroner, far from Oklahoma, conclude? Last week, we reached out to connections and were able to share the complete autopsy file with a pathologist and deputy medical examiner in the Pacific Northwest. Here is our interview with Dr. Lindley. From the jump, let's just say from an eyesight glare at the physical state of the body along with the photos, what's your initial opinion?
The initial examination revealed widespread scraping and cuts. Classic road rash across the victim's back, arms, and legs. This is consistent with the body sliding across a rough surface, like asphalt, while in motion. Critically, these were not the deep, severe wounds you'd see from someone being intentionally dragged. They are exactly what you would expect when a person is ejected from or falls off a moving vehicle. The hands showed only minor, superficial healing injuries. There were no signs of the dramatic, deep wounds consistent with being dragged a significant distance.
We talked about some of the theories as far as the injuries to the deceased. You mentioned the phrase pertinent negative. Can you enlighten viewers on how this ties to this case?
In forensics, a pertinent negative is something that is missing and would be considered vital evidence. In this case, two key things were absent. First off, there are no long bone fractures. There were no breaks in the lower legs or thighs. This is important because most adults struck by a vehicle while standing upright sustain these types of fractures. This evidence suggests the victim was not standing when the trauma occurred. The second item of interest is there are no defensive injuries. A conscious person bracing for a fall will instinctively put their arms out, resulting in broken forearms or severe palm injuries. The complete lack of these injuries indicates the victim was likely unconscious or semi-conscious at the moment of impact. Furthermore, the absence of pattern injuries, for instance wounds matching a specific object, like a car part, makes the theory of being struck by a vehicle highly unlikely.
We've discussed the external condition of Noah Pressgrove. What can you tell us about his internal injuries?
Internally, his body reveals a series of catastrophic, non-survivable injuries that would have caused death within minutes. He suffered a severe hinge fracture at the base of the skull, along with multiple fractures in the cervical spine. This pattern strongly suggests a head-first impact, where the body's momentum then forcefully compressed and twisted the neck. The brain also sustained damage, including swelling and lacerations to areas controlling vital functions.
I think most of us have picked up on the direction you're heading. What would these findings tell someone in your position? Imagine this was a case you had to sign off on, note a case of death, and most likely head to court for. Tell us how you would file this.
There was a forceful impact onto the back, evidenced by fractures on the back of the ribs, fractured shoulder blades, and bruised lungs. There was also severe internal bleeding, including a tear in the heart's lining. The sheer extent of the trauma and the associated internal bleeding confirm two things. The victim was alive when these injuries were sustained, and all injuries were rapidly fatal. Any delay in reporting the accident or attempts to move the body would not have changed the outcome. From looking at the post-mortem evidence and learning about the evidence at the scene, I would conclude this was an accident. There's no indication of foul play, dragging, or a cover-up beyond what appears to be a panic reaction from those present.
Imagine this was a case you had to sign off on, note a case of death, and most likely head to court for. Tell us how you would file this.
I believe the most probable scenario, explaining all the evidence, is that the victim fell or was ejected from a fast-moving vehicle, landing headfirst, explaining the lack of defensive injuries and the rapid unconsciousness. He then flipped onto his back and slid along the road surface. If I was family or a friend, I would take comfort in one fact. Given the nature of the head injury and the lack of bracing, The victim was almost certainly unconscious immediately and did not suffer.